It's been 8 years since soon-to-be retired Lieutenant Raffaello Pata began investigating the savage murder of Ashley Yamauchi.
I have a year and a half left. I really don't want to leave with this left behind. I want to bring some justice to Ashley, to her daughter, and I don't think people should get away with murder.
But since the beginning, police have caught few breaks. DNA evidence found at the scene has come back inconclusive, and that's not all. Not long after Ashley's murder, detectives went back to talk to the people at the bar where she was last seen alive and later found dead. But to Lieutenant Pata's surprise, everyone suddenly stopped talking.
You mentioned the bar owner. Did he tell his employees to not speak to you?
Well, I think initially he was trying to be as helpful as he could, but without speaking for him, I could only assume that there was some apprehension, perhaps because it happened in the bar. I mean, it brings attention, unwanted attention to them by the police and by the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board and the community in which they're in. So I get that, but this is a homicide.
And Ashley's loved ones say it's long past time for someone to say something.
I do feel that the bar has something. They know something. I really feel strongly about that.
You know, what if that was your wife? You know? I mean, people don't like to talk to the cops. I understand that. But, I mean, there's no gray area here. There's no gray area. This is black or white. This is a f***ing murder, you know?
Crime Watch Daily wanted to get the bartender's side of the story, but failed to reach him by phone.
Please leave your message for...
Still, we were determined to give him his say.
If we end up visiting this bartender, is there anything that you would want to ask or want him to answer?
Who was she talking to that night? He was the one serving her all night. He would know if someone was buying her drinks. He would know if she was talking to a stranger or somebody that she knew. He's, I think, has more answers than anybody.
And with that assertion in mind, we tracked down 2 possible addresses. There was no answer at the first address, so I went to door number 2. Unfortunately, another dead end.
We knocked several times and no one answered. We do know that he is one of the last people to see Ashley Yamauchi alive that night. Do you think police will ever find who's responsible for killing her?
I think they know who's responsible for killing her. Unfortunately, at this point, there's nothing they can do about it.
In fact, Lieutenant Pata nearly confirms as much, but he also says they may be closer than ever.
You know, I looked at this case yesterday just to go over it one more time, and I was rereading a statement from somebody, and it kind of made my blood go cold when I read it. I believe we've talked to this guy. I think the person that did this has sat where you're sitting, and we've had a conversation. I can't prove it, which is why this case has gone no farther at this point. But I have this sick feeling that we may have talked to this person.
Lieutenant Pata says he's now narrowed his focus to at least 3 people. And while he couldn't tell us who they are, he says they should know justice could be coming soon.
We resubmit physical evidence all the time in this case. So we're not done with it. It's just a matter of technology catching up to what we have.
What would you say to that person if they were watching?
I would say take a deep breath, admit what you did, be responsible, be accountable.
Accountable for a night that would change multiple lives.
This person still enjoys their family, their friends. They go out, they continue living, and for no reason she doesn't. Her daughter doesn't have a mother. Her mom doesn't have a daughter.
I do miss her. I do miss her a lot. All I care about right now is justice for us, for Ashley and my granddaughter.
I think about her every day. I want her daughter to know how much she loved her, and she was doing what she was doing to try to make good for her, you know? We just have to try to, you know, just remember all the good things and forget about the scumbag that did this. but I will always love her.
As for Ashley's brother, who still has nightmares about his little sister's final moments, the pain today is as visceral as it was when he sat down and wrote this poem to read at her funeral.
Why were you all alone, and where were your friends? Were you with a cold killer, but as a friend he pretends? I worry for Mom and how to relieve some of her pain. How can I help her if I can't even maintain? Whomever did this evil, they can't be undone. I wish your fears turn reality as the final outcome. The sorrow I feel is an overwhelming pain to know I won't see you alive ever again.
Someone out there knows what happened to Ashley, and police have 50,000 reasons for them to step forward. That's the amount of the reward for anyone who provides new information that leads to an arrest and conviction in this case. If you know anything, you can call the San Rafael Police Department's tip line. That number is 1-415-485-3000.